Okay, welcome back everyone to the Empowered Practice Podcast with Toni of Parks Holistic Health and myself, Jadi Ingalls. We're so excited to be back after a brief break and to be joining you at this time. I think no better time than to be virtually gathering in community.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to turn it over to Toni to kind of ground us in.
Yes. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Fill the belly up and exhale. Just releasing the air out and repeat that for me. A big inhale through the nose, filling the belly up. And exhale. Just release the tension from your shoulders and your neck. Inhale again and breathe in the beautiful cleansing energy of the earth, that grounding foundational energy. And exhale, releasing all of that beautiful earth energy throughout your body. And inhale again, taking in more of that beautiful ancient wisdom of the earth. Breathe it in. It is your birthright to take it in and release it throughout your body. Feel how every cell is calm in this moment, loving this very moment. You're in the powerful now, here. Feel your own personal power expand and allow it to channel in through all the different parts of your body. Feel that you are here now. Feel seated, feel grounded. Take a deep breath in. Feel the belly up. Fill up with that life force. And before you release that breath, set an intention for what you need from this podcast today. And then release. And know that you will get your answer.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all mine. That always feels so good.
It really does.
Yeah, to just come back in the moment, and honor the power.
Yes. I took a break and just took 5 deep breaths. I was prompted by a friend, and it wasn't until then that I noticed these birds were chirping right outside of my window, and it was so beautiful. And I was like, what a gift that I could be that present to catch that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's confirmation for me, because yesterday I had someone else mention about birds and how they noticed, they forgot, everything's been happening and kind of forgot spring came and the birds are out. And I've been noticing the birds in the morning too. I'm just like, more so. And so that's second confirmation of, the beauty in that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice. So yes, Jadi, what do you have for us for this new moon in Aries?
Well, I can share. I was telling Toni before we jumped on that my North Node is in Aries. So it isn't an energy that I've always been comfortable with. It's kind of a growing edge for me to step into that energy. But I'm really feeling it. And I really felt the shift in the last couple of days of just like stepping into my power in a new way and things becoming very clear. And like, for me, it feels like I feel the fire of Aries, but it like cleared a path for me. So I'm like, now I'm walking that path that the fire cleared. Yeah.
That's what fire does. It's brings you back to that destroyer and creator, because that's what fire does literally in the physical.
Yes.
But it, to create with it means to be what? Intentional with breath, intentional with movement. Honing in on your craft and your skills. I'll say what came to me is, Aries, god of war. One, right now, the atmosphere feels warlike, and we are battling through something. And then second of all, life, we all have to get through cycles of some type of war. And usually on a successful part of the war, everyone understands their position. And what does that mean? That means honing in on your skills, harnessing your personal talents, calling on that masculine energy to create the systems within your life that makes sense for you. So being intentional with the breath, being intentional with
Yes.
the body, how does that look in your life? All of us is different. Some of
Getting
us can some of
right.
us can dance in a beautiful way. Some of us can write in a beautiful way. Some of
Yes.
us can create with our hands. Some of us can put other people together who can create well. You
Mm-hmm.
know, harness on your power. Be like Aries. Aries didn't care about anybody or anything but himself.
Right.
So call on that masculine energy and create what you need in your life. This is the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
For real. And I think we're in a time of being shut down in a way.
Yeah.
So a lot of those distractions that were available before in the busyness of everyday life that, you know, are kind of okay by society standards and even praised sometimes to be overly busy, that's kind of stopping. And of course we have, you know, internet and streaming services and whatever that we can distract ourselves with, food, alcohol, whatever. But also we just have more concentrated space and time right now. So to me, it feels like a beautiful time to be cultivating your intentions, like you said, and to get very clear on what your beliefs are and what you stand by.
Mm.
And that can feel like walking through the fire because it's not always in alignment with the status quo. Like
Yeah.
right now, you could be running around like a chicken with your head cut off, buying a bunch of toilet paper, getting groceries for 5 months, like really letting that fear fuel your actions, right? Or you can
Yeah.
turn around to face the fear and say, no, I am not going to get swept up in this. I'm going to stand my ground. I'm not going to be ignorant or negligent. I'm going to take care of my needs,
Yes.
but I'm going to do it from a place of all needs met. I'm going to do it from a
Yeah.
place of trusting the good. I'm going to do it from a place that everything is going to be okay. And to me,
Um,
Aries kind of gives that strength.
Beautiful point on mentioning, um, are you getting wrapped up in the fear,
Mm.
or are you thinking for yourself? Because it has a lot of people have had to waken up to how they've kind of been allowing themselves to be hoarded along
Mm-hmm.
with others.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't realize it. They really thought they were thinking independently.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of freaked out a little bit. And then they go, oh, wow. Am I in control of my thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
And is this how I really feel, or is this how someone else feels?
Right.
Um, and what I love about it is that more and more people are just, they got caught up, and then they go, oh, okay, maybe I need to rethink this. Maybe I need to, really be more intentional about what is my energy and what's others. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and another thing with this Aries energy, the fire is here,
Mm-hmm.
is here no matter what. So you could burn in the fire with all the stuff that
Yeah.
has to go away, or you can just transfer that fire over to your personal power.
Yeah.
Literally, this morning I did a visualization where there was fire over my fear, and I imagined I had this stove, a wooden stove,
Mm-hmm.
and the wooden stove lit up my personal power, my courage, my ability, my thinking. I put all of this on this stove, and I just visualized the fire leaving the fear and feeding the stove.
I love that.
And that's it. We're just gonna feed that stove. The energy's not going anywhere. We're just gonna use it for the right stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and if we're inside the house, so you might as well get intentional with it while you're inside the house. Because guess what? We're not always gonna be inside the house,
Yeah.
and you don't want to just sit in the house scared and come back out in the world like, the sun. What is this place?
Yes. So I love that. That's, I think, a beautiful visualization. And just for the listeners, what are some of your top tools to shift out of fear and back into your personal power?
Step number one is always grounding.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are not experienced with meditation, there's so many different ways to ground yourself. And the easiest thing that I do, even with my son who's 4, I just tell him to tell me, okay, what color is the wall?
Mm-hmm.
Is it hot or cold in this room? Oh, what color is my shirt? Can we count to 10? Let's try to breathe 10 times. And then all of a sudden we've redirected to the present moment. And then from there, you can come out of that fear. And the second thing that I would suggest is focus a little bit more on some pleasure. Find some
Mm.
pleasure in the day, whatever that looks like. If it looks like a longer hot shower or a hot bath, is it being with a lover? Is it being with yourself? Is it,
Mm-hmm.
putting on your favorite pajamas that feel good on your skin?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just calling in the things that comfort you and that bring that pleasure and
Yes.
that turn that on for you. If you do those two things, I think you could kind of go, okay, I don't need 10,000 things of toilet tissue.
Right. Yeah. And I also am going to get a little bit up on a soapbox for a minute and just say, I also saw things going the other way where
Yeah.
people were judging the people who were taking these actions and kind of condemning them. And to me, that's like, that's really not taking us where we need to go. So if you are, let's say, going to the grocery store and people are butting in front of you in line and they're totally freaked out, or they're like grabbing up the next toilet paper, try to see where their perspective is coming from, that they are so caught up in the fear that they think that's the best action for themselves to take right now, that they're so enmeshed in fight or flight that they are just reacting to the circumstances. And see if you can bring some compassion to that space, to that person, to yourself, or however you're reacting to that person. That's what we need more of right now.
I definitely, if I scroll through Facebook or something, everyone has such explosive things to say.
Right.
And I definitely have been a little emotionally triggered from both sides. It's just like, wow, maybe you should journal, read a book. I mean, I don't know, like if you're that upset about it,
Right.
or getting upset with people who want to accept that this is a reality, like this is what's going on, so I'm going to stay
Right.
inside, or like, oh, this is not real or whatever, and
Right.
that is your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that, but just like you said, let's just have some compassion.
Yeah.
Let's unite. That's the only way we can get through any of this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So take care of yourself. The phrase that keeps coming to my mind is the one of like putting your own oxygen mask on first, like on the plane,
Yes.
Just put whatever that looks like for you, put your own oxygen mask on first. Even if you're in tight quarters, even if you're trying to work around people and kids, and can you take 5 breaths? Can you, like Toni said, come back to some of those anchoring practices, like, oh, what color is the wall? What color is my shirt? What room am I in? What's the temperature of the room? How do I feel in this moment? Okay. Like just come back home to yourself whenever you feel yourself slipping into that tide of fear that wants to sweep you away.
Yeah. And last night I was speaking to a friend of mine, and she did an astrology report for this new moon.
Mm-hmm.
And I was speaking to her about everything going on as well, and I said, in our own personal lives, when we want change, we usually go through something that kind of feels like war.
Yeah.
Whether it's a sickness or an ending of a relationship or trauma, whatever
Mm-hmm.
happens. And I said, a lot of us have been hoping for a better planet, a better earth, a better now.
Right.
So if we can be intentional during this time period, just how we
Mm-hmm.
are in our own personal internal wars, when we get out of this, we'll be able to see more of the things that we've been praying and hoping for in this world. And
Yeah.
even saying it gave me more hope. I thought
Yeah.
I had a lot of hope, but I felt even more hope with that. So yeah, and
Yeah.
I definitely want to say another suggestion, not a suggestion, it's just a word of advice, some wisdom to remember. Because yesterday morning I was feeling kind of trapped too in my house. I've only been going to my
Mm-hmm.
mother's house. I'm at my house, and that's it. That's
Yeah.
and I sat down in front of my altar, talk to my ancestors, lit some candles, relaxed, And what I heard was, there's infinite space within.
Mm-hmm.
Infinite space within.
Yes.
And to use it, to harness it, and
Mm-hmm.
welcome it. It is kind of scary if you haven't spent time. Jade and I, we've been doing this stuff. We're like, yeah, I have all of my internet friends, and we connect and
Right.
meditate, and the rest of the world's like, what?
Exactly.
But it's true, it's real. You can find that infinite space within. You can be gentle with yourself. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And even, yeah, I think I still have meditation sessions often where I feel totally crowded with thoughts and worries, and especially taking on like kind of the collective energy right now and just feeling that swirl through my body. But what I guess I've taken from a consistent practice is that I know it passes. So often we hear that like thoughts are like clouds or emotions are like a wave, but when you haven't done a practice for consistently for a while, it can feel all consuming. It can feel like I'm going to feel this way forever, or I'm going to die if I let myself feel this feeling. And you won't. I just want to reiterate, you won't. And you will continue to build that space, inch by inch, to where you have even more capacity, and the wave passes more smoothly and the clouds float by more feathery. And you can create more space. It just takes a consistent practice.
Yeah, beautifully said. And something that comes up a lot when I encounter people who've been away from a practice, like, oh, I haven't done it so long, I don't even know if I can sit down and do it. Or,
Yeah.
oh, I tried and I couldn't shut my mind off. Self-compassion, be patient.
Mm.
Consistency is key. Just try it. Just
Yes.
get back into it. So yeah.
All right. Well, Toni has a beautiful new deck she's going to share with us today with Ganesh,
Yes.
the remover of obstacles.
Yes. Whispers of Lord Ganesha is the name of the deck.
Mm.
I decided to go with Lord Ganesha today instead of the Moonology, which I usually like to do during our podcast. Ganesha is crusher of obstacles, blesser of new beginnings. Aries is the start of the zodiac, so we are in what some people consider the new year with spring. Um, but on a personal level, I work with Ganesha, and he has brought so many comforts within my life. Um, I feel like Ganesha is like that awesome granddad or something, or that fatherly figure that is very grounded, solid, and is there for you. But if anything goes wrong, he's ready to fight for you.
Yeah.
Um, but also very childlike. He loves sweets,
Mm-hmm.
rum, so the good stuff, the fun part of life. And just calling that in some more. And it's so awesome. Ganesha, he has a human body, big pot belly, which symbolizes abundance, elephant head. He rides this little mouse, to show how, light he truly is and how light we
Mm-hmm.
all can be in heart. So I think those are all the things that we need some more in this time, anytime really, but he really called to me today. So the first card that was pulled is courage. Oh, wow. Be intentional with your energy in this time because we need each other.
Yeah.
So if normally you would just, put something very aggressive on social media or whatever, I ask you today at this time to be a little bit more empathetic and to have some compassion,
Mm-hmm.
because your courage, it takes courage to be in a pandemic and to still see the positive.
Yeah.
That takes courage and vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm asking you to call on that spirit within yourself, the leadership within yourself. Your courage will crush obstacles for others,
Mm-hmm.
because you might just say the one thing someone needed to hear to not lose their mind
Mm-hmm.
in this. And that's what Ganesha is asking us to do. Have the same steadfastness, courage that he shows us, and to be grounded within that. And we can provide that. And we know how energy works. Once it starts in one person, it will
Mm-hmm.
spread. So
Mm-hmm.
let's spread courage. Let's have the courage to be vulnerable, be open, be compassionate, to think about the positive, to be in the moment. All these things take a lot of courage in such difficult times.
Yeah.
On the card, he's riding a lion. And when I see the lion, of course, I'm thinking fire, and I'm coming back to Aries.
Mm.
I'm coming back to that fire. So going to that visualization, see the flame that is flaming this war, this pandemic, this fear, and see it transfer over to your
Mm-hmm.
personal stove that fuels your courage.
Mm-hmm.
And you will feel different. You will feel better, and you will see changes. And then the second card that I pulled is joy.
Oh.
I love it. He's like on the card. It's so cute because he's hanging out with the mouse and they're dancing, having a good time. And that really brings me back to I mentioned pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
When the fear takes over and you're like, and you have nothing else to do because you guys probably don't work from home like we do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're like, what am I supposed to do with my time? Find that joy, cultivate that, let the fire flame that in your life.
Yeah. Have a dance party.
Yes. Oh, that'd be great if you guys do that. You have a dance party, you're gonna feel grounded, you're gonna feel in your body, you're gonna be in the present moment, you're gonna
Yeah.
feel powerful, you're gonna feel open. Like, have a dance party, feel good,
Really.
just get all the gunk out that's holding you back.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the company that you do have. If you are alone during this, physically, know that spiritually and emotionally and mentally, you are not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And go back to that courage. If before you felt uncomfortable reaching out to people because you just needed to talk, I call on you now to take that fire to that courage again
Yeah.
and reach out so that you can laugh on the phone with someone.
Yeah, I mean, now there's no better time than now to join online communities. Almost every community that I am a part of, I know, is having free online offerings right now. So
Yes.
no better time. And I'll just share a little personal anecdote. So my husband and I were both feeling kind of the heaviness of the situation
Yeah.
this weekend. And we got out our microphone and sang some karaoke. And like 30 minutes later, we were both feeling much better. So yeah.
It helps. It does. Is
It does. And if we can just remember that it's all energy and we can
yeah.
transmute it, we can become our own like energy alchemist. So transmute that fear into creativity, into joy, into service, into expression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you guys can check with call in your local hospitals. My sister works at a hospital here, and they've asked for kids who are stuck at home to draw pictures for the elderly there because people can't visit, and a lot of people are getting lonely.
Yeah.
So if you don't have any kids, that's cool. Just order a coloring book and get something funny. How about get an adult coloring book that got stuff only
Yes.
adults can understand? And I'm sure plenty of the people in the hospital have a good laugh. Who
Yeah.
have visitors and color, create, have some joy, have some fun, and you're spreading joy too by doing that.
Yeah. I love that.
We're gonna
Beautiful.
make it. We're gonna make it, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got guided visualizations. They can be really helpful, especially if you find your mind is active and it needs something to process constantly. You may not find as much peace and inner stillness with a meditation that just has you be quiet for 20 minutes. But maybe if your mind is focusing on scanning through your body or visualizing a certain light or a certain scene, you might find that helpful. So one of my favorite resources for guided visualizations is Rasa Meditations. It's a YouTube channel. So you can just search Rasa, R-A-S-A Meditations, and there's a bunch of beautiful guided visualizations there. I also love Insight Timer app. It's an app in your phone, and they have tons of guided meditations of all different sorts in there. And you can filter by time. So if you only have 5 minutes, or let's say you have 20 minutes, they will filter them out for you, and all different styles. So you can really find someone that you resonate with.
5 minutes is okay, because I know some people hear that and they're like, oh, that's not, 5 minutes is fine, guys. Just do
Yes.
it.
Completely. If you're doing deep breathings, like belly breathing, it only takes 3 minutes to transition from fight or flight into rest and digest. So take 3 minutes. There's one more app that came to mind for me, and it's called Think Up, and it's a free app, and you can record yourself saying positive affirmations, and then it will remind you to listen to them throughout the day. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, guys, do that one.
What are some of your top tools?
I would for sure say a pen and paper.
Yes.
Pen and paper. Even if you're just writing out an affirmation, I have peace, I am joy, I am grounded. There's so much magic that happens when we just take the pen to the paper. And then also back to the body as the tool, working with the breath. Even if you're just squeezing in a few deep breaths, it really works. And if you need someone to try it with you, practice a little vulnerability and say, hey, let's try it. Let's just do 3 of these deep breaths and see if we feel better or not.
Yeah.
To just harness, your own personal energy. And though this is not a physical tool, I say patience.
Absolutely.
Use the tool of patience in all of this. Of course, we wish that as soon as we sit down and meditate or something like that, boom, we attract everything. Everything happens. The world is different.
Right.
But just patience.
I love that. And just one question for you. How are you navigating this time of being a mom, having your boy at home more often and being inside more often?
Good question. So firstly, I have incorporated him more into my daily routine. Okay. So instead of excluding him, in most things, side note, you still need some time alone. But working out, we've been working out together, which initially was like playtime, but then he saw that I was seriously working out. I wasn't, and then now he's very serious. He's 4 years old, doing push-ups, running around. He loves doing the happy baby pose.
Yeah.
And he feels good afterwards. Not like I was just shooing him away. Try to also put you guys on some type of schedule. Doesn't have to be strict. But children thrive with schedule, as humans do as well, but kids really thrive with it, and their schedule is so thrown off. It feels weird, uncomfortable. And honestly, I even noticed the first couple of days he's getting better, but I noticed my son was 4. He was getting kind of depressed. I noticed it.
Yeah.
He wanted to sit more on the couch. I mean, he's 4. He should be jumping off of the couch, running. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He literally, I feel so bad. And I said, okay, we got to figure out how to make it more fun. And guys, when the kids go to sleep, don't go to sleep with them. Give yourself an hour to decompress.
Yeah.
If you take any of my advice, take that.
Yeah.
Just give yourself some space to decompress, to just feel like a singular being. If you can take a bath, or if you just need to watch one of your shows, because I know if you're like me, you're kind of stuck watching cartoons or whatever all day, and you don't even know what's going on in the world. So just hold on, or even if it's 30 minutes after they go to bed, but please give yourself some time to decompress. And you need a little bit in the morning too. So if you can't wake up before them, or if not, try to get them set up with doing something. And give yourself some space. You'll find that your patience will be better with them if you give yourself that decompression time. And also, you'll find that you have more personal energy to give to them
Right.
during the day.
Yeah.
When if you took an hour before, the night before, to take a bath, today it's not that bad to take a break from work and do the coloring book,
Right.
with your kids, or go over some homework, the work they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so definitely at the top, take some time for decompression, and that's how I've been surviving. I
I
feel pretty
love
good.
it. I love it. I'll add in a couple extras that you reminded me of. So if you are a user of therapeutic grade essential oils, right now is a great time to be doing some aromatherapy. The
Yes.
citrus oils are incredible for uplifting mood, for helping you work through depression, for abundance and creativity, especially wild orange, and then peppermint. So peppermint is energetically the oil of emotional buoyancy. So it really can help like hold you through whatever you're feeling. So those two I would highly recommend. And then of course, I'm always thinking of human design as I'm a human design coach.
Yes.
But get to know your chart, and specifically get to know the 4 arrows in your body graph. So you can go to mybodygraph.com, get your free graph, and that top left arrow is going to tell you a lot about your relationship with consistency and routine. So if it points to the left, you will thrive, you will free your energy up if you do have more routine, more consistency, more structure. If it points to the right, you might feel more freedom if you can flow throughout your day and it looks different from day to day. So you can have more intuitive blocking of tasks, let's say, but you can move them around throughout your day. So get to know your design so that you're not just following, blanket advice, that it's tailored to you so that you can thrive through this season and beyond.
Okay, now I feel like I need to add something else too on
Do
that.
it. Yes.
because I know everyone needs it. Be careful with your diet,
Yep.
because the worst is when you feel sluggish and you're stuck in the house.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So just be mindful, be careful. Yes, you can indulge a little bit, but you really want to keep the energy up. You don't
Yeah.
want brain fog during this time.
Right.
You don't want to feel like you sat in the house this whole time, and then once you get out, everything is a mess in your house.
Right.
Inside the heart, inside the mind. And
Yeah.
so I mean, I
Yeah.
had to get on myself. I had to check myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
We did too, because one of the things that my husband loves to do with free time is baking. He loves baking.
Oh
So I'm like,
God.
this is great, but please,
Yes.
I'm not feeling so great.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me. My mom baked a cake, and then my sister baked stuff, and
Yeah.
and it was I think it was Saturday. I was like, hold up, I'm not gonna survive like this.
Yeah. So just navigating the tides of that too, and trying to be
Yeah.
compassionate with yourself. And I
Yeah.
think you'll find what I've found and what a lot of my clients have found is that when you do have those consistent practices anchored into your day, you have more internal space, so you won't need those things as much.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just be more in tune and feel like you don't need something. You don't need instant comfort because you're already able to comfort yourself internally.
Beautiful. Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are set up and ready to
Are.
roll.
You're going to roll through this pandemic like rock stars. And we'll see you at the full moon.
Yes.
Okay. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye, guys.